Welcome to Moments with Marianne. This is your host, Marianne Pastana, and we're here today with special guest Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche, who's here to share with us his new book, The Tibetan Yogas of Dream and Sleep, Practices for Awakening. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What an honor it is to have you here and to talk about your new book. What was the inspiration for writing this book?
Well, our tradition, I'm Tibetan Lama, and from childhood, the dream has been very important part of our life. My mother always told me her dream and the very important meaning in her dream and how dream has guided her life. My teacher that I grew up with also always tells his dream is telling him to do this, do that, but basically dream is guiding. And so in our spiritual tradition, the dream and sleep both actually are a very important part of our spiritual practice. So then one third of our life we sleep. So average 25 years we sleep. So I felt it's important to really share some traditional wisdom to the West.
Well, we're so glad that you are. And I found this book to be so impactful because you're right. I mean, we spend a lot of our time in our sleep, and that line between us, the me, when we go to sleep kind of blurs when that happens.
Yes, absolutely. So basically, our day is very affected by our night. Our night is very affected by our day. So somewhere the cycle has to change. So bad day, bad night, bad day. It keep being worse and worse and worse. Or some point you have to intervene, and then you have to change the course. So the dream yoga practice is very much about trying to bring more sense of awareness in during the daytime, so that in the night there will be more awareness, there will be more lucidity, so you can actually change things in your dream, bring more healing.
Is that what you mean by dream yoga?
Yeah, so the yoga it's a Eastern word in the West. Sometime when we say yoga, people immediately think like a physical aspect only. But yoga is it's the exercise of wisdom. It could be physical, it could be breathing, it could be mental, it could be meditative. So here it's referring to dream yoga and sleep yoga. It's referring to awareness that we can bring in our dream and sleep. So how we can bring that awareness, what that awareness can do, the impact of that awareness, how we can heal the old wounds that we are not able to get in touch with during the waking state, how we can get in touch with that in the night, and so on. So it's very much about bringing awareness into the dream and sleep world.
I love how your book talks about lucid dreaming and how that's not an end in itself. Rather, it just provides us the context where we can engage and advance our practices and become free of the things that keep us stuck.
Yes, absolutely. So, generally when we talk about lucid dream, so some people might not very familiar with the idea. What does lucid dream mean is you're when you're aware of your dream while you're dreaming. So that is a lucid dream. The benefit of that is when you're aware of your dream while you're dreaming, when it's a nightmare, when you wanted to get out of that dream, you don't have to get out of that dream. You have to be aware of that dream, so that dream contents can change. Because then when you know it's a dream, you're not afraid, you're not affected by it. You feel you have a choice and power to change it. For example, if the tiger is chasing you and you're running, and suddenly you realize it's my dream, I change the tiger into my cute dog, and then I will not run away. I will just immediately hug and hold, and then the relationship to that dream has been changed. So many times in our everyday life, we have reoccurring dreams, and most people have some kind of reoccurring dreams, and the recurring dreams are happening because we are not good listener. We don't listen to our dream, and we don't hear it, we don't process it, so don't it keep on coming back again and again. So when we hear it, when we feel it, we understand it, then we can see what's going on. Some kind of old wound, unprocessed feeling, thought, emotions are still there, and during the daytime we get very busy. We forget, we ignore them. But in the night, when we are not working, when we are not busy, when we are sleeping, it shows up. It shows again and again. So when you are lucid or you have a lucid dream, you have opportunity to change, process it, and change those recurrent dream and bring more healing there.
I've often heard of people who say they've had lucid dreams and it feels so, and using like little air quotes, like real. And then they awake and they can't tell which one sometimes is the real reality. And I understand that we also look at real life as a dream world too.
Yes. In the Buddhism, in deep meaning in the Buddhism, they say dream, it's real as our waking life. Our waking life is unreal as a dream. The reason why there is a possibility of awakening in our dream is for most of us, we think dream is not real. We say dream is just a dream. And dream, if you die in a dream, you don't have to die. If you're sick in a dream, you're not sick. If you're feeling suffering in your dream, you're not suffering. You just have to wake up in a dream, and this is a dream, then you are free from death, aging, fear, and all. So we basically understand dream is not real. That is exactly the reason for us we use dream. So if you are able to have a lucid dream, if you are able to wake up in your dream, able to realize all this suffering that you're producing, it's just a dream. If you recognize that, if you are able to process it, transform it, be free from it, then when you wake up, your life is already changing because you have already made changes in your dream. So this is a very much the work that you are not able to do in a waking life. You're trying to do that in a night, in dream, and sleep. So the impact is similar, and you will able to do a lot of healing like that.
I think that's so profound. We've always kind of in the West looked at dreams as if they were just, we had something too spicy last night, or, it's our imagination, as opposed to something that would benefit us.
Yes. So, of course, people can have a very exciting dreams, like a flying, entering into the different world, and going beyond in the past, traveling back in the future, and meeting with people that you were never able to meet in your waking life, have interaction with them, acquire our knowledge and communication. Yeah, all this is encouraged in a dream yoga practice once you have a lucid dream.
So when we look at how experience is shaped, in your book, you talk about how even in dreams, it's shaped by ignorance. And
Yeah.
I wonder what that correlation is.
Well, again, word ignorance is very precisely defined in Buddhism. So, I mean, in everyday life, you would say ignorant is not knowing something, not knowing. You're ignorant about technology, that you don't know about technology. You're ignorant about architect, or you don't know about architect or something very much you don't know is we think about ignorant. But here in the book, in Buddhism, when we say ignorant, we're not talking about not knowing something about something. It is very much referred as not knowing about yourself. Do you know yourself? Do you know who you are? If you don't know who you are, then that's called ignorance. So of course people can say, I know who I am. My name is Susanna. My name is John. But that's your name. That's not you. Oh, I know who I am. I'm a lawyer. I'm a doctor. That's what you do, your profession. That's not who you are. But who are you? Oh, I'm a father. I'm a mother. No, that you're playing the role in particular relationship with specific people. That's not you. When you look deep inside, trying to see who you are, and most of the people find nothing. And then when they find nothing to refer, nothing to identify with, then they are lost. So that sense of lost is called ignorance. And once that deep ignorance is present in our life, what it does, we are constantly always looking to identify with something. And different time in our life, we identify different things. Like teenage nowadays, identifying with the games and the YouTuber and the famous people or something like that. As we get older, we're trying to get caught up with work and survival. And then we have a lot of emotional stories. Then we are someone who's dealing with all these pains and stories. So we don't know who we are. So that is what is referred as ignorance. Every single dream that we have is a product of ignorance.
And is that where the keys are to help us identify who we really are?
Yes. So basically, apart from the dream and sleep yoga practice in Buddhism, generally, it says, first, in order to know who you are, most important part in the journey, it's to know who you are not and how seriously you are identifying with something that you are not. And then that we have, when we look at that way, we have enough of that. And then you will say, how does that work? Then we say that, if you look at this very moment, your deepest pain, the strongest conflict that you have in your life, look at that. Who is feeling the conflict? Who is feeling the pain? That who is not you. And when it's not you, when you recognize, oh, that's my pain, it's not me. That's my fear, that's not me. The moment you are able to even recognize that you are not your fear, you are not your pain, you are not your story, little distancing from that, it's already a big shift in a consciousness.
It sounds very liberating to get to that point.
But it's also, it's a question about in our life every day. It's just very, very sincerely, genuinely interested in knowing yourself and also knowing who you are not and how we identify with that.
Yeah, that sounds like such a gift to get to that place. And for a lot of people, we hear all the time about karma, and I think a lot of people think of karma as like a negative thing. What really is karma, and how does that tie into what we're doing here?
Yeah, so karma, it's not negative. Karma in the West, sometimes people think about negative. I don't know where that is coming from. But in Buddhism, generally, when we say karma, it's your actions. If you have a good action, then the result will be the happiness. If you have a negative action, the result will be unhappiness, suffering. So karma is action, whatever you are doing. So basically, they say if you wanted to know your past life, you look who you are today. If you wanted to know your future life, you look at what you are doing today. So what you're doing today is creating a cause and condition for your next rebirth. So it's the same way, even before you go to sleep, if you wanted to know how you're going to sleep tonight, you look at what you're doing today. If you're having a whole day doing things without knowing why you're doing, and doing things which is very conflicting, confusing, and very painful and exhausting. And then if your life is waking life is like that, the day is like that, you know your night is going to be a difficult one. But if you are very open, very kind, you are very restful, very rejuvenating, and you have many optimistic, positive, then you know you are going to have a good night and good dream. So karma is very much your own current actions, which will define your future rebirth and future life.
Does karma tend to also show karmic traces show up in our dreams as well?
Yes. So basically, every single dream that you have is influenced by your karma. It's the same way every single thought you have is caused by action. Every single emotion that you're experiencing, it is also caused by certain actions of your past. So whatever you're thinking, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're doing, the reason is there is a cause condition, set it up cause condition in the past. So in order to, if you don't want your life the way your life is, if you don't want to feel these painful emotions, then you have to clear these karma. So karmas are the seeds. If you burn the seed, then it will not grow again. So when we think about purification, personal work, processing things, we're talking about burning and processing the seed of these karmas that which is making things happen in our life.
That's so impactful, I think, because I don't know if a lot of people realize that, and I learned this from your book, is that we can affect some of the karma in our dreams as well.
Yes. Yeah, so, basically, I think, let's say this way, there are events that supposed to happen in your life in the future. There are conflict that's supposed to happen, or suffering that's supposed to happen, sickness that's supposed to happen, maybe some negative incident supposed to happen. So these seeds are already in us. So, so what we are trying to do is we are diving into our unconscious, uh, seeing these seeds in our dream, and with awareness trying to change these elements and process them in a dream so that they don't have to manifest in our actual life. So it's like a similar, a little bit like a breathing, like we in our meditation, we do a lot of breathing exercise. They say about 23,000 times breath that we take every day. And each of these breathing, then when we do, most of the time, we are not doing like a parasympathetic breathings. We are doing sympathetic dreamings. I say breathings. Like we are always very intense and like argument kind of. Like you're fighting with the world, with the life. Your breath is like in a fight mode. So when you're doing this breathing, you're exhausting your biological energy. You're draining your life force. So when you keep doing this for 23,000 times a day, end of the day, you lost a lot of energy, which you don't have much, but you'll keep on losing. And that leads to the sickness. But on the other hand, if you are, they say that 330 billion cells are every single day that you're replacing in your body, or 3.8 billion cells every second you are replacing in your body. But if you are breathing with awareness, breathing, deep breathing, then these replacing these cells can be influenced by your breath and awareness. It doesn't have to be sick, the disease cell, which is replacing itself like in organs. But each time when it's replacing, it can be changed into like a medicinal cell, because of the breath and awareness. So you have opportunity to influence the transitions that are happening every moment in biological energy in the cells happening in your body. You have a chance to do that. So that we we have to pay more attention in these transitions more because either your karma condition will keep changing into the same way, same pattern, or you can interfere and make it better. You have a choice.
Sometimes do you just giggle at some of the science that comes up because it just is verifying what Buddhist teachings have been sharing for so long?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm very grateful that recently at our main retreat center in Virginia, we had a conferences on 5 elements. Then we have a lot of scientists, from Harvard University, and really talking about the science behind the breath and meditation, and particularly behind the breath. Like breathing deep versus breathing shallow, breathing with awareness, breathing with nose versus mouth, breathing. So many findings, and these all the findings now with the research findings, but all these findings we already know, we have already been aware of that, we already practiced them, but science backing up with the data is very nice. It's like a very complementing each other. It's and particularly that is kind of needed in the Western world. So, Western world, there's more belief in the science, right? So it's important.
Well, I'm so excited that all that's coming together because I think it means so much, just for all communities and for some people who have to see the science to believe, or some people who just have a really deep understanding and awareness from a conscious level.
Yes, I think it's a beautiful that they are coming together, not only for Westerners but also for even for me, that who culturally grown up with this tradition, but somehow we are always taught, we have respected very much and practicing, but then when the science saying, okay, this is showing that like a deep breathing, it's showing how it is changing the heart rate variability, expanding the heart rate variability, which then affects the overall health, and particularly heart health, and so on. And then, or saying that the loneliness is a risk factor of the heart disease, anger is a risk factor of the heart disease. So the connection to social connection is very important, and all these things, it makes absolutely sense. But the science, then they come up with data, which is nice. I think in the future there will be a lot of um, actual science-based, spiritual-based lifestyle changes that can affect the global and so bigger collective health.
Well, thank goodness for the teachings of Tibet to help bring us to this point. I'm so grateful for that. In your book, you talk about the energy body and
Mhm.
how all experiences have an energetic basis.
You know, there there can be different ways to understand it. When we think about the body, we can, again, once again, when we think about body, immediately in the West, you will think your physical body, and then physical body has birth, physical body is growing, physical body has aging, physical body decline, physical body has end death. But we also look at our eternal body, that which is who really you are, your consciousness, your awareness, that which is more who you are than your body. Your body is not you. Your job is not you. Your thought is not you. Your feelings are not you. You are your pure awareness. So your pure awareness sense of who you are. Sometimes when you're very in a deep meditation, when you are completely rested, when you are fully in love, when you are, um, you know, fully rested and wake up in the morning fresh. And these moments, your sense of you is very expansive, like boundless expansive, that there's nothing you can point to one thing. It's like everything. You are like everything and anything, and you are indestructible. You are limitless. So that sense of spacious, what do we call spaciousness, luminous, and warmth? The three things we talk about. So when you feel like that, that's who really you are. I am unbounded space. I am infinite awareness. I am pure warmth. That is who I am. That unbounded space, infinite awareness, never being born, never get old, and never dies. So that body is what we are trying to uh, embody. That, or that is the body we're trying to realize that. So when we're trying to have more sense of connection to that body, then we feel more confidence in ourselves. We are more happier.
Yes, with having that deep connection, I could see how that comes together.
Yeah. So some sense in like we were talking about identification. Of course, in the West, when we said that, people don't like the idea of I am no one. So in the truth is, I am I am no one. Therefore, I can be anyone. So if you're no one, you can be anyone. And so whenever you are someone, that someone might interfere you to be another one. So if you're married whole life, when you lose your partner, you have a difficult time to have um, to not have anybody, because you're so used to having someone. Or when you have someone all the time, it's the other way around. So we get so conditioned by specific things, we lose in, this absolute flexibility, a sense. I can be anyone. I can be with someone. I can be without someone. I can be happy with everything. I can be happy with nothing. But we are not. We are not like that. We are conditioned by specific things. So why? Because we identify with the specific things. And even you look, every conflict in the world, war today, is identity issues. Identity issues. So this identity can completely become a friend, merge, and become union. All these identity have to separate and fight against, destroy each other. This is the nature. It can become either way, but very often it becomes one way. So, for example, if you look at your dream, just looking at your dream from as far as you remember your dream, from starting from reoccurring dreams, and if you we sometimes I said recommend that you make a 6 files, what we call 6 lokas in Buddhism. So hell, hungry ghost, animal, human, demigod, god realm. So different characteristic, different personality. You can look at your dreams and you can analyze them. You can say, well, I have hell dreams, very much anger-based dreams and very destructive and fight. Or I have a very attachment, sexual dreams and desires, and so, or I have a very ignorance dream. I get lost in my dream. I am, looking for a location without the address, and not trying to make a phone call without the area code, and so on. Always this sense of loss, being in the mud, in the dark rooms with no window. So if you look at your dream, you can see there are specific kind of dream. It's happening to you again and again and again. So what does that mean? That means you definitely your identity is lost. Let's say somebody dreams a recurring dream that you're looking for your home. You cannot find your home. It's recurring dreams. or you're looking in your home, you're looking for something that belongs, important belonging for you. You're not finding that. You are, or maybe sometimes you feel you're trying to follow someone, you get lost, and you're searching for that person, you cannot find it. So this sense of loss, whatever, these are specific identities having these dreams. So if you look at more closely, you can see who is that, who is feeling so much like this greedy and attachment issues, problem with attachment, who is feeling so much wound and anger, disappointment, who is this a sense of who is lost and looking for a place to belong, looking for address, looking for home, looking for connection. Who is this? If you look, yes, you can see someone is looking for, someone is lost, and you're trying to. I mean, ultimately, that's what the dream yoga or even awakened meditation is about. That you're really trying to find who is lost, who is angry, who is attached, who is suffering. Of course, maybe it's difficult to know who, but at least if you know you are not that suffering, you are not that attachment, you are not that anger, you are not that story, then you have more chance to go deeper to find who truly you are.
I think that's phenomenal. It really starts us to investigate our dreams and look at it in new ways.
Yes, I think it's a very like a kind of fantastic to look at our dream. It's a great opportunity. I always tell my students, that every night before you go to sleep, look at that. Dream, sleep, and dream is a sacred. You are traveling into the journey, sacred journey. You are entering into a sacred temple. Dream is like a temple. You're entering into a sacred temple. You're entering into the past, your undiscovered self. So that it's very exciting journey every night when you go, and then you see that way. You look forward that way. You set the mood that way. You pray. You seek for support. You trust yourself. You trust your power, your meditation, your awareness. Trust you trust that there is a support. Others are doing the same, feeling support. So exciting journey every night.
And for those people who say, well, I don't remember my dreams or I don't dream, how can they get into a state where they can?
Yeah, of course, everybody dreams. Every 90 minutes, they say we dream. So everybody, maybe not everybody remembers their dream. I think one of the reason is we are overworked. We are over-informed. We are over-exhausted. We have too much thought and emotion. We are restless. We are exhausted, but still restless. Because of that, I think we don't sleep well. We don't sleep enough, not deep enough, good enough, and therefore our biological system is get a lot of messed up. So I think the dream and sleep yoga practice is also very much about preparation, how to go to sleep, and how to bring some more lucidity, awareness, and some application or processing these emotions and dreams what interferes our sleep. So yes, so I think there's a lot of ways we can work.
Well, it sounds like a practice just like everything else.
Yes, so I think as we said earlier that 1/3 of our life is sleep. So if you think about you're sleeping 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, sleeping, it's a lot of time that we sleep. And most of these times, we have no clue what's happening, and we have no clue what we can do or how we can grow, how we can heal. So this is a knowledge. Of course, in the West, sometimes people in the Jungian tradition, dream analysis. So sometimes you have a dream that you trying to bring that dream to your therapist, and you're trying to work on one dream for years. So, but in the Tibetan tradition, we say that you have an opportunity to work with your dream not only when you wake up in your waking life, but the most important part of the work of the dream and transformation of the dream and those wounds in your life, ability to do during sleep, during dream. And that is what the dream yoga practice is about.
In your book, you talk about that we have three kinds of dreams. Could you share those with us?
Yeah, so generally we say like every dream is caused by your thoughts, emotions, and activities. So during the daytime in your life, whatever you're doing, whatever you feel, what you're doing, all the emotions related with what you're doing, these are you are accumulating all these experiences, and these experiences which are particularly the experiences which are not processed during the daytime while it's happening, and experiences which are like a karmic traces, experiences which you store them because you cannot clear them. So if you're going to clear them, you don't have to store them. If you don't store them, you don't have to deal with them again. But if you cannot clear them, you have to store them. And even you're trying to avoid them, but they show up in your dream. So all our dreams are based on karmic conditions. So that these are most of our dreams are we call samsaric dreams. Look, if you look at any of your dream, you can think about your dream is related with your hope, your fear, your pain, your stories, and which you have not processed and cleared during the daytime in past life, past time in your life. They are coming back again and again. You're dreaming, haunting you, right? So those are dreams called samsaric dreams. Then there is a dream called clear light dream or clear dreams. Of course, clear dreams also partly samsaric dreams, but they are also caused by your thoughts and emotion. But it has more to do with more collective wisdom, ability to have a dream that predicting future, ability to have a dream that actually making connection to someone else in your dream, ability to encounter deceased people who are died, able to communicate with them, ability to communicate with the people or spirits beyond this world and trying to gain information, knowledge, and exchange with them, and ability to talk with even you can say the enlightened beings, the Christ or yogis of the past. So all those are like what we call clear dreams, more intuitive dreams. You have that. Then there's a sleep called clear light sleep. Clear light sleep is where you don't have active dreams. You don't have informative dreams or samsaric dreams. You are like in this beautiful experience of space and light without stories. So when people talk about near-death experiences, when they say about I was completely immersed with the light, and they describe near-death experiences merging with the light. Those kind of merge, becoming one with the light, one with awareness. Those are called clear light sleep. I talk quite a lot about that in the second part of the book. It's called clear light sleep.
Well, that sounds very interesting. And I know people want to go and pick up their own copy of your book just so that they can read about that. You talk also about in your book how many masters have used dreams to go and cross time and space to get information and connect with others.
Yes. So, in the past, some of the master teachers, they have written a whole book because their ability to encounter some of the past master, somebody who lived in the 7th century, 8th century, 10th century, they're able to encounter them, and they're able to request specific teachings and knowledge, ask specific questions, and then these masters show up in their dreams. Like today's world, we would do like a Zoom sessions, right? So you will set up a Zoom session appointments. They will have a regular encounters, and each encounter, they will able to write down next day all their encounter information stories. They're able to write down, and they come up with the books like that. So, personally, when my own journey, when I have some specific questions in my life, specific questions, then when I'm working on my book project, questions and doubt that I have, I would pray, and I would try to energetically connect with my teachers, and not always they show up, but very often they show up, and they show up with the answers for me. So I have my own direct experiences, regular encounter with my teachers, and exchange informations. So yes, there are, in Tibet, there are tradition called divinations in the dream. So basically, some people are they're not necessarily a scholar or high teachers. They are ordinary people, but they have a lot of how you say, advanced practice in dream yoga practice. So they would go with a question saying, if you ask me, please look at what in my next 5 years, what's going to happen in my life. So they will go with the intention to invoke the masters, and they will say, I'm not going to take it, my unconscious world. I'm going to cut my own thoughts and emotion. I'm just diving into your unconscious and trying to find out about you. And they will come up with quite interesting dreams and messages, and these are things what might happen. These are things what you need to do. These are things that you have to be careful on these times. So they will come up with amazing stories.
I think that's quite fascinating because you do hear of people having dreams where masters or spiritual teachers will come to visit them, giving them information.
Yes. So that, it could be spiritual teachers. It could be your own, ancestors, your own deceased parents, friends. But basically, dream, nowadays we are used to Zoom, right? So in Zoom, you can meet so many different people from different places and different time zone. So in our waking life, we can only meet with the people who are in a physical form. If you're sharing time in space, same location, same time zone, and you encounter in a physical location, then you exchange information. You do that. But other than that, we are not able to do. But dream is totally different place. So you can meet. Of course, it's probably for some people, maybe it sounds very strange to say that, like weird to say that. But the truth is, everybody do meet different people. Everybody do experience something that you don't experience this life. People can fly in the sky like an eagle. People have dreams like walking on the water. People would have amazing experiences in dream. So in a dream, we can encounter anybody. You can say, I will meet Christ. But if you are open enough, if you're crazy enough, if you are brave enough, if you trust enough, you can organize a schedule and meet. Or you can meet, say, I wanted to meet the spirit of the water, or spirit of the earth, spirit of the sky. And you say, please come in my dream and guide me. And they will come. So, or people who are passed away saying, oh, I remember my father who passed away. I would like to see you. Please come in my dream. Let's communicate. Let's connect with each other. And you open to that, and they'll come. So, of course, this question is, are they really there, or they are something that you made up? That's a good question. But and generally speaking, everything what we experience is we made up. So it's another nice thing to made up. It's not a problem.
Well, I think that that can be so empowering having those experiences. And it's interesting because people look at those and go, well, that's kind of different. Maybe that's, something I haven't experienced before. But that happens with everything that's new to people. If they investigate it, they'll learn more about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, and generally in life, I always say that, everything in your life you feel that you have accomplished, you have achieved your successes. Why? Because only reason you have succeeded is you are open to them. Everything that you dream but you have not achieved, you have not realized, because you're dreaming, but you're really not open to it, open to them. That's why they did not manifest in your life. Only thing what manifests in your life is what you're open to. All the things what you don't have in your life, simply you're not open to them. And it's true in a material world, and it's also true in a spiritual world, awakening world.
What would you like readers to take away from your book?
Well, I think first of all, if you're interested in a dream yoga and sleep yoga, ancient tradition, and I would recommend the book Tibetan Yogas of Dream and Sleep uh, book. And when you get the book, I would recommend that you do not expect this book to read any other book. This is the book that you wanted to keep near your pillow for the rest of your life. It's because until you sleep, you wanted to keep it there because you will not able to understand everything right away, even though you think that you understand, but you will not understand. It will take time. So, but if you think you're not understanding, then I will not exhaust yourself. I will not think or discourage yourself. Think about this is a lifetime journey. So practice, apply only thing that you really feel that you understand and you really feel that you can do. So my main advice is that every single night before you go to sleep, be prepared, but nothing specially doing anything. It's not like saying you have to do 7 different movement or 12 different breathing and 3 different meditation. No, not like that, because every night when you go to sleep, the intention, or I slow down in the afternoon. I am going to take it easy. I'm going to less screen, less conflict, more connection with my loved ones, more sense of peace, more into this preparing your room nicely, and bringing that sacred energy before you go to sleep, and think about every night. I will never go one night sleep without a little awareness, a little preparation. That kind of attitude, I think it's important. So if you're able to do that slowly, you will able to change your relationship to sleep, dream, and the practices of it. So because if you have a good night, you have a good day. So most of the time we have a bad night because we have a bad day. We have a bad day because we had a bad night. So it's a cycle that we are trying to really break. The negative cycle we're trying to break.
And preparing for that sleep is so important. Do you feel like, we're so bombarded with technology today that it really puts us in another state of illusion?
Yes, I think one thing, like in the night before we go to sleep, like at least hour, couple of hours before you go to sleep, I think it's nice to not look at the screen at all, and even not really reading books, which has a lot of intense stories. Just giving a break to your eye, your mind, your body, and opening up your heart, more emotional connection with loved ones around you. And so I think that this practical preparations are important even before you do this spiritual or more fancier preparation, uh, setting up room dark, room to be more cool room, more cooler room than hot rooms, and keeping it dark. Also sleeping more on your right side more instead of left, because you don't want to press your heart, pressuring your heart down, because it will impact the breath, and breath will impact dream and sleep. And then taking these deep breathings before you go to sleep. So there's a lot of things you can do, but all of things what you can do, it has to become natural part of your night, not a special part of your night, not a specific effort part. Like you go every night when you go to sleep. What many people have rituals they do, right? They would brush your teeth. Is it a work? No. Do you hate to brush your teeth before you go to sleep? Is it effortful? No. You wanted to do it, you love to do it, you feel fresh to do it, and when you go to sleep, you feel fresh in your mouth. You and we all understand very well. But when it comes to the mind, we don't know how horrible, smelly, sweating, and painful exhaustion the mind is. But we go to sleep like that. It's like going to sleep with a jogging for 1 hour, sweating and not brushing your teeth and not changing your clothes, and a jogging clothes, you go to sleep. How does you feel? Bad. So our mind is, every night we do that. It's horrible. So think about brushing teeth and taking shower after intense jogging. Same way our mind need a preparation to fresh up. Take a mind shower, clear mind, feel fresh in the mind, and then go to sleep. So these are simple things, but very important things. It will affect your dream and sleep.
Where can our listeners connect with you and be part of your community and learn more about your work?
Yeah, so there are many ways. We have about over 35 centers around the world, and so I think generally we have a website. It's a ligmincha.org, ligmincha.org, or I'm very, very active on my Facebook. We call cybersangha.net, and my Facebook is Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche. We have a lot of conversations on a weekly basis. They all are free, and we invite scientists, we invite practitioners. We have regular meditations. I post my daily reflections, and so and also whatever in specific events is there, they are posted there. So that's a good way to keep contact with me.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show with us here today.
Thank you for having me, and I'm very honored here.
Well, thank you. It has been such a great honor to spend this time with you and to talk about your new book. We are going to pause here for a quick moment, and we'll be right back after this message. I'd like to thank Jason Eastwood at Guitarfulness for sharing his inspiring music and talent with us. His music is known worldwide for cultivating atmospheres of harmony, inner peace, and clarity. Visit Jason's website at guitarfulness.com. Join his newsletter, be part of his community, and download his music. Well, we're at the end of our time today. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. You've been listening to Moments with Marianne, where we make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Marianne is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Marianne will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmarianne.com for more information.